So another thing you need to know with safety in the kitchen is dealing in the pastry with hot oil. So if you're making things like donuts or beignets, what will happen is that if you start to drop things into oil, you'll get a splash and you'll end up with lots of burns all over your arm. So what we'd use is little pieces of paper, and when you do your proving of your donuts or if you pipe in your beignets, you put them onto little squares of paper, and then when you, instead of picking them up to put them in the fryer, you can lift the whole piece of paper up and then just slowly, gently put it into the oil, and then you've still got that distance from you, and then you can pull it out as the donut kind of slips into the oil. So that's really important as well. That will keep all your arms from being covered in burns, and that's a really important thing with oil. The other thing is if you're frying something, say shallow frying, make sure that you always lay it away from you. So if something goes down in the pan, the oil splashes away from you and not to you, because it's just natural habit to put it straight in the pan and then it will splash all over your hands, all over your fingers. So it's really important. Remember, hot oil is super, super dangerous, and using little bits of paper can keep your hands away from getting your scars on your hands. Also, the other thing you really have to bear in mind is that when you're using tea towels, they need to be bone dry. It's always tempting. I know people know that you can't use tea towels when they're wet. Obviously, when you grab something, the water gets heated up straight away, literally as you grab your tray or your pan or anything, and it'll produce steam and go straight against your hand, and it'll obviously conduct the heat. So you think you can get away with it, you grab something and you'll end up dropping it all over the floor and then scalding yourself. But that happens even when the towel is just a little bit damp. So it needs to be bone dry, and it's always a mistake that I see people make. They think, oh, I can get away with that, it's not too wet, and they'll pick it up and it will be, end up with burns all over their hands. So it's really important that tea towels are always super, super dry before you pick anything up. That's the second really important thing when you're working with anything hot.